Tech Thursday is for parents, caregivers, adults, anybody really who uses social media. You want to take a picture, you're going to use a filter to change the background, to maybe make your nose smaller, to make your face brighter. And it's actually affecting our children's mental health. And I'm going to explain to you why. So, are we together? Why do filters affect our children? They are affecting us because if every time you take a picture, you are changing how you look, and that's what you're sharing with the world. You start to get used to how you look because you have augmented, you have filtered, and you have changed the true picture of who you are. And what's starting to happen now, and we're finding this a lot when it comes to mental health challenges, is that a lot of people who get used to using filters start to compare their real life face, their real life, what they really look like with their filtered version. So the pictures that they've enhanced, they've used one beauty filter or the other, they start to get used to that. They start to get used to how they look because they've augmented everything, made their cheeks slimmer, raised their eyebrows, raised their cheekbones, and they start getting really deep self-esteem issues because they're comparing themselves to a fake face. And I know this might sound unbelievable, perhaps, for some parents, and you might be wondering, can that really affect anybody's self-esteem? Are you serious? It is just a filter. But remember that our children today are growing up in a world where their self-esteem is still developing. It is still growing. They're still making sense of who they are. They're still getting used to being, they're growing, they're having acne, they're developing. There's so much going on. And if they are doing that, living their lives in front of a mirror, comparing themselves to a version of who they really can never be, it is quite dangerous. And I'm going to share another statistic with you that's going to shock you. Okay? I'm going to share another statistic with you that's going to shock you. There's an increasing number of people, especially aged 18 to 35, who are going to the plastic surgeons and they're asking for cosmetic surgery. But guess who they want to look like? They actually want to look like their filtered face. They are taking pictures with them of their filtered faces, either using whatever Snapchat or whatever social media platform they're using, and that's what they're taking with them to these cosmetic surgeons and asking to look like that picture. Now, if you don't believe me, Google. I always say Google is your friend. So feel free to Google. But that is actually what is happening. So we're having a whole wave of a whole generation that's really, really growing up with serious self-esteem issues because they're comparing themselves to a reality that is not even real. So am I making sense? Yeah? Are we together? So that is why I'm talking about the dangers of filters. Children, so every time somebody uses filters, don't see it as it's just cute. You want to start paying attention to certain things. So I'm going to go over it again because some people have just joined. We're talking about the dangers of filters because if a child gets used to constantly changing how they look with photos that they are taking, it's affecting their self-esteem. It's affecting their mental health because some of them actually fall into a condition which is called selfie dysmorphia. Okay? Selfie dysmorphia is actually a condition where somebody starts to look at themselves and starts to compare themselves to their selfie version, their filtered face. And then they start to have self-esteem issues. They don't want to go out. They don't want to connect with people outside because they feel that they're going to judge them by how they really look versus the picture that they have been putting on social media. So what can you do as a parent? First of all, every time you see your child or a young person, a young adult around you constantly using filters to enhance how they look, you want to ask them, why are you doing that? I found that with this social media usage and being online and using all these tools at our fingertips, some of the things that you need to stop you is just to learn to pause and learn to ask, why am I really doing this? So you actually want to ask anybody around you, maybe for yourself, maybe you do it a lot, you're always changing how you look with your filters. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? why am I changing how I look? Why am I using a filter? It's one thing to maybe play around with the background and you want to put sunlight and all of that. But when you start consistently using these apps that are going to make you look shinier, are going to increase your cheekbones and your eyebrows and all of those things, you need